The next match on the card came as a surprise to me because apparently they just told us about this on Collision, which we don't watch. Or maybe they didn't tell us about it at all. I don't know. But is Nigel McGuinness still doing commentary on Collision? I would assume so.
I think so. Having a great time on Saturday night.
Oh, quit now. For heaven's sake.
I'm yelling.
They prescribed him those hormones and he speaks much more deeply now. No, I love you, Nigel. I miss you. And Nigel's a great guy. But suddenly on this pay-per-view, here's the IWGP World title on the line with Zack Sabre Jr. defending against Nigel McGuinness with Danny Garcia in his corner because Nigel won a four-way to win the title shot, and I guess he beat Danny or whatever the fuck. But so we've already had a TNT title. We're going to have the AEW World title. There's a unified fucking title going on around here. Now, here's the IWGP World title. And again, preaching to the choir. Can you look at Zack Sabre Jr. as any wrestling fan across the United States of America, the width and breadth of this fine land, and tell me that any of them are going to buy this slightly built human Q-tip as the world champion of something important? Yes, he does a wonderful job mimicking the moves of the world of sport greats without any of the fucking grit and fucking look and goddamn grunting and ugliness of the salty old time British motherfuckers that did it. It just looks silly when a guy like Sabre does it. And Nigel is very good at it, but he's had, what are the 3 wrestling matches in the last 14 fucking years? And he's primarily an announcer, but suddenly he wins a match for a world championship of something that's allegedly important. And to train for it, we see Nigel beating Johnny Saint in a chess game out in the park. And I get what they were going for. It is nice to see Johnny Saint, but no, it's like, did Frank Gifford go back to play for the NFL after he'd been doing the announcing for 10 years or so?
No. And then we get to see Marty Jones and, confused at ringside. We get to see the old legends just looking befuddled at what is going on here.
But that's just the thing, is that it's the complete opposite of a garbage furniture match that they usually have. It's so dry you had to watch it in the rain because they're paying tribute again to the British style, but it's Nigel has in his day, in his athletic peak, and he got a lot of his best years jacked out from under him for one reason or another. But he get hit hard and fucking snatch shit, but he's not going to fucking go out there at this time. I felt like he might hurt Sabre if he fell on him the wrong way. This little twink is so slightly built.
When he came out there, when he walked to the ring and he's wearing his jacket, I said, wow, it looks like he's actually put on some size finally. Good. And then he took off his jacket. I realized we're right back to where we started.
But I zoned out for a while because that's the thing. And this slightly amused face that Sabre has when he's supposed to be doing reversals of a guy trying to grab him in wrestling holes irks me also. And then he reversed a sunset flip 1, 2, 3 in about another 20 minutes. I love the idea of doing athletic, technical-oriented matches amongst guys who are the practitioners of these things, but you can't do it in the middle of a 6-hour show with a part-time guy and a skinny nobody, and then they just shake hands and hug. Okay. Blah.
My favorite thing about the match was the post-match, because it looked like they may have been setting up an angle or something, and instead we got like kind of an awkward... Everyone get out of the ring now. We have an announcement to make.
Yeah. Can y'all quit hugging and kissing on each other? We got to talk to Tony's there waiting on you motherfuckers to leave.
Right? Didn't it seem like they were setting something up?
Yes, well, that's what they were. They were trying to get Tony Schiavone in the ring to talk about the big crowd, and they couldn't get the fuckers. But you know what? Honest to God, and again, it's a classic. Eddie Graham used it as the example of a great athletic wrestling match that never drew money on top was Billy Robinson and Tony Charles. But I would love to see them in their early 40s on a show like this to just have the people go out of their minds. And it's like watching, to compare with those guys back then, and even the Johnny Saints of the world, they were a little smooth. I liked the more smash mouth style that some of the salty bastards had. But it's a difference in watching a big time magician in Vegas and a guy doing like the local magic show equivalent of dinner theater. They're doing the same thing, but it just looks so much more real. Anyhow, then suddenly, Brian, without warning, as these things usually do when they happen suddenly, they also happen without warning. Thekla and Queen Waiata got in a fight in the back of the building and fought into the arena. But Julia Hart and Blue Sky came out and jumped the Queen. And then Jamie Hayter came out and ran all the heels off by herself. The end. I get was that they have unfinished business from the pre-show. They said they'd been fighting for quite some time.
It started during that multi-person match or multi-woman match in the pre-show, and Jamie Hayter, we haven't seen her in a little while. Not necessarily wearing the same green to-do that she was wearing last time, but still it seems kind of like a retro, I'm just working hard as a waitress in like 1972 kind of look and gimmick with the hair and everything else. I don't know what they're doing with Jamie Hayter.
She's just doing the best she can. Believe it or not.
They could bring back...
Alrighty.
I was about to say Vic Tayback. They could bring back the Butcher as their Vic Tayback and have him manage her. Just a hardworking woman.
Bring Tayback back. Bring back Tayback.
Bring back Tayback.
Yes. And then Ryback will try to make it all about him.